Hello! As well as making full reviews of old games I used to play from the 90s and 2000s, I wanted to dive deeper into some of my favourite specific levels from some of those games. Today, we're going to be looking at the level Town Square from Spyro the Dragon. Town Square, baby, let's go! One of the early levels in the 1998 PlayStation platform game. I've actually played this game and many others live here on YouTube and Twitch. Artisans make art, I suppose that is true, with more Spyro still to come. So subscribe to make sure you don't miss a single one. I will find out. A bit of context. The first hub world in this game, Artisan's Homeworld, contains 5 realms, consisting of 3 main levels, 1 flight level, and 1 boss level. Although the 3 main realms can be accessed in any order, Town Square is classed as the 3rd level in Artisan's Homeworld, and being the furthest from the start, the last of the 3 the player is likely to come across. The Homeworld and other 2 levels already teach the player how to use Spyro's basic abilities, including jumping up platforms, charging and flaming enemies, and how to get treasure from some of the chests and containers. The Homeworld also necessitates the use of a whirlwind to access the level, so we definitely know how to use that too. An inaccessible ledge holding treasure is also present earlier in the Homeworld. I wonder if we'll be able to reach them after this level. Town Square is set in an old Spanish market town at sunset, surrounded by a menacing dark bluey purple sea, complete with bulls, toreadors, fountains, and rubber chickens? The architecture in this level is reminiscent of old palaces such as the 13th century Royal Palace of Olite, or coastal castles such as those found in Tossa del Mar and Lloret del Mar. This level acts as a kind of tutorial where the dragons mostly try to help out Spyro with gliding. In fact, the Japanese name for the level actually translates as Glide Town. It does a pretty great job at making sure you actually know how to glide successfully, as at multiple points early on, you simply cannot proceed in this mostly linear level without gliding. The level starts nice and calm, with an abundance of those previously mentioned chickens. If you have managed to reach this level before the others, it doesn't throw you right in at the deep end, and you have the opportunity to try out jumping, collecting treasure, and torching chickens before advancing. The first glide has you walking up a few steps, talking to Nils the dragon.
Welcome to Town Square, Spyro.
Thank you, Nils, who helps you learn how to rotate the camera in case you still somehow haven't worked it out, and gliding over to the only available platform to the left of us. Here we are introduced to 2 bulls. The bulls will chase Spyro if you're not careful, even off camera, but here they are arranged in a line, so you are unlikely to be caught out. If you do get attacked off guard though, just treat it as a lesson at actually paying attention to your surroundings. Oh my god, he can't hear, he's got AirPods in. You can either flame the bulls to get rid of them, or charge them to make them spring up and land on their horns, sticking them in the ground. This, honestly, is a fantastic comedic slapstick moment in this game. After taking out the 2 enemies, Spyro makes his way up these steps, finding a spring chest, a kind of chest that must be attacked, and the gem that jumps up caught before it falls back down. I always found these chests to be super difficult to get the gem from when I was young, but of course now I'm a super pro gamer. Nothing can stop me. You now notice there are a whole bunch of platforms and areas glittering with gems. Try and reach them if you want, but they're just out of reach, and there to hint to us about what's to come later on in the level. There is 1 platform low enough that we can reach though, and a life container has even been placed there to tempt us or draw our attention to that platform specifically. Having survived the glide, Spyro now faces an even tougher glide over a pit of that toxic bluey purpley water to reach another crystal dragon. Notice how this is the first glide so far with actual risk of death. The devs are very clearly slowly ramping up the complexity and risk with each glide. Having released Devlin,
Did you know that you get your longest glides by pressing X at the very top of your jump?
yep, we've already been told that like 10 times. We next come across a bull chasing a toreador around a fountain. A really great environmental touch. I always love when this kind of thing is in games. After dispatching the enemies in the order of your choice, we saved you. We saved you. Are you happy? Rude. Bye. You probably noticed the egg thief up above, out of reach again, as he taunts you.
Don't think you can outwit me, Mr. Potter. I'm on to you.
Making your way up the steps, we come across some more chickens. gems, and bulls before reaching the return home portal. However, freeing the dragon Alvar, he tells us about a thief nearby, the one we've just seen. All this information we've received visually about the extra parts of the level up above and the thief we've just seen and heard about is there to tell the player, don't leave the level just yet, there is loads more to do here, despite the presence of the portal home. However, looking around, there's no obvious way up. You can try jumping on the fountain, but that doesn't help. I imagine at this point a lot of players give up and return home, as I'm sure I definitely did when I was younger, but those that persevere will be rewarded. Walking back, you might realise that the steps we use to get here continue up for seemingly no reason. They must have a purpose, right? Backtracking a bit, you may re-notice the thief, perhaps a hint that this is where we should go. The upper regions of the level can be reached by drifting from the top of the steps and around to the right, back towards the area you came from, landing on the green shelf right where the thief stands taunting you. When I was young, this bit was really tricky, both in working out what to do and actually doing it, and I know a lot of people feel the same way. Pro gamers only. This is gatekeeping. Following the thief through a tunnel, we then reach a larger area requiring some more gliding with lots of gems, this fan gem box, and a dragon, Thor. Finally, having got all the gems, the last thing to do is catch the thief, which can be quite difficult. Oh! Well, at the end of his path, he does jump back up to the start. Come here! Oh! Where did he go? That's unfair. I can't levitate like Dua Lipa. This thief requires you to be more skilled with your chasing and not just brute forcing until you finally reached him. Once you've got the egg though, that's the level done. Finally, we can reach all that treasure in the artisan's homeworld. This level was actually one of the 3 found in the Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped secret demo, which included Artisan's Homeworld, Sunny Flight, pre-unlocked, and Town Square, but in the place of Stonehill's portal. It also has the Stonehill music rather than the final Town Square music, and I've got to say, I do really like this chilled music pairing with the Town Square sunset. This level is one that definitely holds a special place in my heart due to the amount of times we played the demo before actually getting the full game. I think it provides a great tutorial for mastering gliding, a key component to the rest of Spyro the Dragon. I also really love the dramatic sunburnt feel to the whole level, the purple sea and mountains contrasting well to the stone towers, green grass and orange sky. Interestingly, the bulls from the level feature on the box art for both the European and US versions of the game, although the location on the box is somewhere else. The bulls are also slightly different in the US and Japanese versions of the game, where their horns are tipped with red, but this red is not present in the PAL version, presumably due to the presence of blood increasing its age rating. The sky in this level was reused in Charmed Ridge in Spyro 3, and honestly, what a good move. It's absolutely sick. Looking at the Reignited trilogy, they actually didn't change a whole lot about this level. Where other levels received extra embellishments, such as bookshelves and artwork, Town Square remains relatively unchanged, mostly just with improved looking towers and mountains in the distance. The dragons, as throughout the whole remade game, have had extra character injected, where we now have Nils the sculptor, Devlin the patissier, Alvar the chef, and Thor the ceramicist. Honestly, how do I get all of these dragons' jobs? It's a nice bit of fleshing out to really make these dragons feel like artisans, selling their wares in this old town centre, to whom I'm not quite sure, but they also added a skill point for inverting all of the bulls. Good move, devs. Town Square is a great little tutorial level dressed up as a beautiful little Spanish town, and it's a realm that I'll be sure to revisit whenever I want a good hit of Spyro nostalgia. Thank you very much for watching. I have a few more of these level analysis videos planned for the future. If you want to subscribe to check those out, let me know down below what you thought about this level or the other levels in the game. Feel free to check out my other game reviews too. I have a Patreon if you wanted to help support the channel, and a Discord server where we always end up seeming to talk about random stuff from old games. But yes, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!